I share that quick exercise with you because we are creatures of habit. We do things that we don't realize that we've been doing them for years. But here's the thing, the habits that we have right now, some of them can keep us from the success that we want. Some of them can keep us from doing the things that we want. And sometimes we have to take a self-evaluation. But I've asked that question for over 15 years. And the number one answer that I received was positive attitude. Most speakers say attitude is everything. They're dead wrong. Attitude is the most important habit that we all have. Stanford did a study, and they came up with the conclusion that 87.5% of our success is derived from our positive attitude. 12.5% is from the people that we know and the education that we get. But positive attitude, ladies and gentlemen, it is the number one habit linked to our success. It's been written in so many books that if you've heard of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, one of the top habits in that book. The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. There's so many things that when it comes to positive attitude, it's not about being happy-go-lucky. When I decided to write the book, now I could have wrote a book on leadership. I could have wrote a book on sales. I taught those for years. Customer service. I do trainings on all of that stuff. But I decided to write a book about the habit that leads to the success to any area in your life. Now, Webster states that attitude is the way we think or feel about someone or something. I think it's more than that. I think it's about being strong-minded. I think it's about being inspirational. I think it's about being responsible, dedicated, and disciplined on the success that you want to get. But have you ever noticed on our way to success, whatever success that we're looking for, or whatever success that we're trying to drive within our organizations, that somewhere along the way we have negative events, negative circumstances, challenges, setbacks. We have things that arise, and sometimes we don't know how to handle them. But the number one definition, I think, or the number one trait from a positive attitude is the way we respond to things. Charles Swindoll said it best. Life is 10% what happens and 90% how we respond to it. But have the attitude that you're going to go in, you're going to be professional, you're going to smile. It doesn't matter if you just wrecked your car. I don't care what it is. You go in, you're the professional. Think of Miss Janine yesterday. Lives in her car. You know, all the things that she's going through, and she's walking around McDonald's with a smile on her face on a job that most of us would not want to do. That's what positive attitude is about. The second one is take action, not just action, take massive action. Where do you want to take your credit union? Where do you want to take your staff? Where do you want to take yourself within the credit union? How do you want to challenge the people that are within your organization? How do you want to be the leader of the credit unions here in Louisiana? How are you going to come back and win the awards next year? How are you going to come back and share with every credit union in this room that you're the best credit union in Louisiana or across the South or even across the country? You've got to make that decision today and take massive action. Now I want you to tell the person next to you didn't tell that to, they got a little something in their teeth, all right? All right? I know who likes who they tell the first person to. But how did that make you feel? Makes you feel great, right? Somebody said earlier, we like working with people that we are comfortable with, that we like, that people that make us feel good. So if you know this story, please don't say it, but my wife and I were driving to New Orleans one afternoon. And I never forget, I'm kind of pouting about something, and we keep each other in check. One of my biggest fans, one of my best friends, my wife, and she was with me when I had nothing, when I was living with my parents. And I never forget, we're driving across the causeway, the longest bridge over water, 25 miles over water. So we're driving to New Orleans to go to lunch, and I'd never forget, I got some bad news. About halfway across that bridge, I'm just like this, just pouting. She looks over at me, she says, "Ryan, smile, it increases your face value." I was like, "Where did you get that?" She goes, "I made it up." So I went, "All right, so what do you think I did with it?" Stole it, put it in my book, put my name on it. And I get a phone call from my publisher a month later, said, "Mr. Lowe, you cannot steal that. I said, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, you stole it. I said, I know, I stole it from my wife. And come to find out, she stole it from Steel Magnolias, all right, the movie. So anyway, I never forget this one particular morning. I'm on my way to my office. I wanted to get coffee. I stopped at McDonald's, and I'm so glad that I did. So as I pulled up, there's about 20 cars in line. I was kind of in a little bit of a rush. I pull up, and when I did, I said, you know what? I'm just going to run in, grab my coffee, and get out. But that didn't happen. I pull up, I walk into McDonald's, and there's a lady opening the door, saying, thank you for coming. We're glad that you came. Please come back. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Now, this is about 7:30 in the morning. I'm cleaning the crust out of my eyes going, am I in Ruth's Chris? Where am I? This is not McDonald's. Most restaurants like that, what do? You ask for something, they throw it at you, right? So I grabbed my coffee, and now I decided to go sit in the corner and watch this lady. Have you ever met someone that had a smile that could light up the room, or their attitude just could light up the room? So I go sit in the corner, and as I'm sitting there, she's now sweeping the restaurant, and she gets to me, she walks up and says, hi, my name is Miss Janine. I said, hi, my name is Ryan. She said, Mr. Ryan, do you mind if I sweep underneath your table? I said, no, go right ahead. So I'm lifting my legs, she sweeps underneath the table. I said, you have a great attitude today, what's going on? She said, God's got me on this great green earth, and everything is going great. So just like that, she put a smile on my face, and my attitude changed. So as I'm watching her, she's walking around the restaurant, she's talking to everybody, smile on her face, everybody's having a great time. I mean, this is in McDonald's. And my book had just come out. So I walked up to her. I said, Miss Janine, I'm about to walk out the door. I said, do you like books? She goes, Mr. Ryan, I love books. I said, great. I've got a book entitled Get Off Your Attitude. It's not what you mean. It's more of what you did. And she goes, well, what do you mean by that? I said, I wish I could take you with me to all my presentations and show people what a positive attitude is about showing up to work with a smile on their face and greeting their customers and having great customer service and just have an attitude that people in a culture that people want to be a part of. So she walks outside with me. I'm signing my book, and I couldn't let her go just yet. I said, Miss Janine, seriously, why do you have such a great attitude? And let me tell you, she gave me some answers that I wasn't ready for. She said, Mr. Ryan, she said, I just left my husband after 20 years. He verbally, physically, and mentally abused me. She said, but I just started my first job. I just bought myself my first car, and I just opened up my first checking account. And let me tell you, she had a smile. She was all excited. So I'm like tearing up, and I'm trying to, sign the book without getting tears in the book. And then she gave me 2 more answers that I wasn't ready for. She said, Mr. Ryan, I can't read, but I'm going to have somebody read the book to me. Then she told me that the car that she just bought, she lives in that car. Could you imagine living in your car? 100-degree heat in Dallas, Texas. Down in Louisiana, it's 100-degree heat, 100% humidity. I couldn't imagine living in my car. See, ladies and gentlemen, that is the best snapshot photo I can give you of what attitude is, what a positive attitude is. How many of you are familiar with the Chinese bamboo tree? Have you ever heard of this before? Okay. There's actually a bamboo tree that will grow 90 feet within 4 years. But the first 4 years, ladies and gentlemen, let's say if I was your neighbor and I went and put a seed in the ground and all you saw was mud and I came out every morning and watered mud, I think you might call the police, right? But do you know in the 4th year that bamboo tree will grow 90 feet and you can actually watch it grow? And I share that with you because that's what most of us, if we work on ourselves and keep working on ourselves and keep working on ourselves, watch how high you grow. But the ones that don't grow, they work harder on their jobs than themselves. Work hard on yourself. Become the expert. Be the best that you could be. Be that inspirational person. Be dedicated. Set the bar higher. Whatever your bar is now, set it another 20%. But watch, and that's what attitude is about.